Is a man more spiritual if he pastors a church and doesn't take a salary? Should a church pay a man to be their pastor? How much should a church pay a man to be their pastor? What responsibilities would a man have to be a full-time pastor? I've noticed over the past couple of years there seems to be more and more of a movement toward giving more honor, more respect to a man who pastors a church but who does not take a salary at all. But what does the Bible say about that? We can find a lot of verses in the Bible that talks about the church's responsibility to take care of the pastor or the preacher or the man of God. I've even heard of some circumstances where a church will pay a ridiculously small salary but then still demand that the preacher, that the pastor, be full-time and live only off of what the church pays him. But the Bible is very clear that it is the church's responsibility to take care of their pastor, to take care of the preacher of the church. In 2 Timothy chapter number 2, verse number 6, the husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruit. In other words, the pastor that labors, that studies, that reads, that prepares the sermons, he ought to be partakers in the fruit of the ministry, and not just spiritual fruit, but the monetary fruit as well. 1 Timothy 5:18 says, "For the scripture saith, Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the laborer is worthy of his reward." And there are other verses in the Bible that we can cite, but the principles are very clearly taught in the Bible that the church ought to take care of their pastor. They ought to take care of their preacher.